Again? Just where are you going?
Where are you going? You're not going to the bar again, are you?
You like hanging out, drinking beer at the bar, talking sports? Come on out and join us weekly. Guys at the Bar Talking Sports, your podcast for just that. Hanging out, drinking some beer, talking sports. Just to give you a quick warning before you start listening, there is some colorful language used throughout the show, so hide the kids and enjoy. Hey y'all, this is Guys at the Bar Talking Sports. This is a show where a bunch of husbands get together and we go out and we drink some beer and we tell our wives that we're being productive. All right? And liquor, yeah. So we drink beer and liquor and act like we're being productive. And it gives us, we can rationalize going out drinking when we talk sports, right? When we do the podcast. Because we're like, eventually we'll get a contract with ESPN or something, you know what I'm saying?
Only because we're productive.
Only because we're being productive, yeah.
Right.
So we got the wives fooled. That's good. Oh, and some of the women that are on the show have their husbands fooled too.
Yeah.
Because we're not just guys at the Bar Talking Sports. We actually have females on here every so often as well. So shout out to the ladies that have been on the show before. We got a review this week, y'all.
Whoa.
And we're only at 5 stars, so we get 5 stars for every review we've had. It's been 5-star reviews, right?
Nothing but.
Keep it up. Give us a review on Apple iTunes if you can. That would be great. On your podcast app. And if you're also on any other apps, if you could give a review, do that as well. That would be great. But this is what it says. Ready? Intriguing show. Loved the sports talk. Was entertained with the college basketball discussion and the mid-major talk. Look forward to March Madness show. Keep up the good work. And I was like, man, that's a good one, isn't it?
That's a great one.
That is a great review.
Hey.
Now, the great thing about that is that I have no idea who that one was from. It could be from anybody. You know what I mean?
It was from me.
Obviously, this show is taking off. It was from you?
I'm sorry about that. I think the show is great.
D20 Playmaker?
I love this show.
You're a D20 Playmaker?
Busted.
Oh, man. All right, that's fine. Hey, we'll take reviews where we can get them. You know what I mean? I am not discriminating against anybody, especially someone that's going to give me a review. So I'm good with that. So let's go ahead and introduce ourselves really fast, okay? We have the returning man from last week. He was a special guest last week, and he was so good, I brought him back again. It's Brookie DC! What are you drinking? What are you drinking, Brookie DC?
Tonight I am drinking some bourbon and ginger beer.
Is
Tasty.
Is that District of Columbia?
That is not.
Brookie DC!
Rookie District of Columbia.
Rookie, We also have our regular on the show. It is Choppa!
How we doing out there?
What are you
Back.
drinking, Choppa?
I missed last week. I missed you guys last week.
I know. So what are you drinking, Choppa?
Well, I wish I was drinking something, but I'm out.
Oh, no.
I'm out of my Crown and Ginger.
Crown and Ginger,
we can't yell for
okay.
Candy
Yeah.
Cane.
We can't yell for Candy Cane tonight. I don't know the bartender's name.
I'm not sure of her name either.
All right. She only works on Wednesdays.
I'm getting
Molly?
Molly.
Lolly!
Lolly.
Can he order up a drink really fast?
I'll take another Crown and Ginger.
There we go. We can't do a show without some drinks, baby.
Gotta have it.
That's right. We have the dude.
Hey, how's it going? It's been a while.
It's been a while. The dude. What are you drinking, the
Hey,
dude?
tonight I'm only drinking Pepsi.
What?
I know.
That's dude with 2 U's.
Dialing it back.
He actually brought his own flask. He has a little bit of Crown in that flask, and he just doesn't want to pay the exorbitant prices at the bar.
Liquor's expensive these days.
I know, man. It's crazy. That's why.
It is.
This is Hanger. That's my
Hanger.
name, right?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think so.
That's my nickname.
I don't
This
know.
is Hanger, Ray,
You-
and I am drinking a Blue Moon
With the orange slice.
with an orange slice. And I was drinking bourbon
Thank you.
Woodford
Thank you,
Reserve
Lolly.
earlier as well. So,
Yes, sir.
so
right.
get this, Brookie the Cookie, you were not on the first show.
Brookie District of Columbia.
Yeah, Brookie DC
Brookie
was
DC.
not on the first show. Chopper was,
Yeah.
and the dude was, but he went by Crazy Gay back then, right?
Yeah.
So I pull up my podcast, or my iPhone today, and I'm driving down the road, and somehow episode 1 starts up, and I start listening to it, and it just shows how terrible we were back then, right? But what happened was this, man. We get to this one point and we're trying to figure out what's that guy's name that's the quarterback of LSU?
Morrow.
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow, right? Remember that guy? Joe Burrow, you know who he is, right? So we spent like 5 minutes trying to figure out, this is about the beginning of November. Joe Burrow is a household name right now, right?
Oh, yeah.
You can walk up to anyone that watches college sports, they'll know Joe Burrow
Except
is now.
us.
But no, even at that time, he wasn't a household name yet.
I know.
But he wins the Heisman, he wins the SEC championship, wins the national championship.
He's going to be the number one pick.
Going to be the number one pick overall.
Yeah.
So
bless him because he's going to Cincinnati.
yeah, it just shows like how quick someone can go from. It was 3 of us trying to figure out his name, and he was. I mean, everyone kind of knew who he was, and he was making a name for himself at that point, right?
Absolutely.
But Joe Burrow just went crazy, and now he's a household name, and that's great. So that brings me to my first topic is this, man. You think he's going to be the number one pick over Tua Tagovailoa?
I do, and the reason being is because there's a lot of health issues that we're just not certain about with Tua at this point. They haven't came out and said how well he's going to recover, and I think that's going to make a lot of NFL teams shy away from Tua.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow's healthy.
Joe Burrow's healthy.
I think he's going to obviously have a pretty decent career in the NFL, and Cincinnati needs a quarterback. Andy Dalton's not the answer, and we know there's no backup there. So
Yeah, and he's a hometown boy, right?
yeah, he's from Ohio.
Yeah.
And they have the first round draft pick.
They do.
He 100% goes over Tua. 100%. Yeah.
And
Here's the problem with these guys. How often is the number one draft pick Heisman winner successful in the NFL?
oh, it's rare. It's
So rare.
It's so rare, yeah.
Because too much is expected of them too soon.
Yeah.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And they go to a crappy team.
And they take over a crappy team.
But
Right off the bat.
both of these guys are good kids. They're both winners, and they're both going to be. They both know what it means to work hard, right?
Oh,
what
yeah,
it means
for sure.
to be what it means to be on a successful team, and what the sacrifice it takes to do that, right? So I think they'll both be successful, but I think Burrow's going to get a faster start out of the gate.
Okay.
You know?
Absolutely.
Where do you think Tua goes? Does he go in the top 10 in the draft or what?
I think right now they're projecting him third to Miami. If I'm not
Third to
mistaken.
Miami?
Yeah.
Okay, that could be a good
And that,
spot.
that makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
what does Miami have at quarterback?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And they're a team that's building right now. They had a really terrible season.
Sure.
So that'll be interesting then. That'll be interesting to see what happens with Tua, because that was what they were talking about on ESPNU like a couple days ago. Is Tua a better, and will he be a better NFL quarterback than Joe Burrow? And and then they were kind of disputing whether, because Tua right now they're saying that he is healing fast. Like they've done like physical therapy and stuff like that, and they're just saying that he's doing well. So he'll definitely go in the draft pretty quick.
Sure.
So they're predicting him to go number 3 right now.
That's what I'm hearing, yeah.
Okay, cool. This is the story of the week. The story of the week, guys. Ready?
Whoa.
All you hear about on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is the XFL.
Wow.
That's it. On the
That's it.
radio, you're hearing XFL,
Yeah.
everything, man.
Extreme!
Yeah.
3 million viewers on ABC.
3 million viewers on ABC, yeah. So,
I thought they spiked close to 4 million.
Yeah.
They said by the end of the game, though, right?
yeah.
From 3 to 4 million.
So people
Yeah.
were paying attention.
Yeah.
Will they be paying attention next week?
But you know what? They've hit it right at the exact time, right? It's a few weeks after
It's a lull.
NFL is over. Everyone is like dying for football because they're like, oh my gosh, it's 8 months until football starts.
Yeah.
So timing wise,
Timing's fantastic.
They picked the right time.
How long are the seasons?
10 weeks.
10 weeks? Okay.
It's 10 games, and then they must have a playoff of some sort. I
Yeah.
haven't looked it up to see what it's going to be. But my thing about the XFL is this: like, I was going to look at what was the the American Football League last year or something like that.
Yeah.
So I was going to look after week 1 what the news stories were about that one, because I've heard it was like a big deal that week after the first weekend. It was just a big deal of what happened with that league, and then all of a sudden, I think 3 weeks out, or no, it was 8 weeks out. they couldn't even make payroll or
Yeah,
something
they
like
had
that.
no funding at all.
Yeah, and then they ended up getting at week 5 they got a $250 million infusion of capital from the owner of like the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah.
Isn't that a basketball team, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So they get a $250 million infusion so they can make payroll for the next couple of weeks.
This was, when was it? 2002, 2003?
Oh,
Oh,
XFL
no, this was last year.
No, this was last year. They had the AFL. Steve
Oh, I
Spurrier.
thought you were talking about the first
Steve
XFL.
Spurrier was the coach of the Orlando team.
Yeah.
He won. I think he went 7-1, and they declared him to be the champ. His team to be the champion of that league for the half a season
Forever.
that they ended up going. You
For
know.
all time.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different rules with this XFL, right?
Yeah.
And so I've watched some of it, and some of those rules are pretty intriguing.
So we got the rule master here.
What do y'all
The
like?
dude.
What did you like best about
So,
the
I
XFL,
think
and what did you
the-
dislike best?
The most the visual rule, the rules you can see real easy are the kickoff.
The kickoff. Yeah, that was
the
pretty cool.
kickoff.
They've totally changed the kickoff.
Hey,
right?
I think the kickoff is great.
Yeah, so they've tried to change it in a way
Yeah.
to make it more exciting, but also
Safer.
still safe.
Safer.
Yeah, so it's no
Right.
longer the kicking team
Someone running 50 yards
running
and
50
slamming
yards,
to somebody.
right?
Yeah.
So
It's
the
like
the kicking
10 or
team,
15 yards
The kicker's
tops.
farther back.
Yeah.
But the people who run downfield, the tackle, the returner, are forward,
Yeah.
but they can't move until the guy catches the ball.
Yeah, and I watched a couple of those, and it was interesting because they're going to start developing patterns to make it work better.
Yeah.
It's a new thing right
Yeah,
now.
they-
I bet you by week 5 they've figured out where to put the fast guys, where to put the slow guys, and all that. Not to have big guys out there, but maybe have a couple big guys, so they got to do
Yeah.
some blocking going on too.
Yeah.
But they're going to figure
They'll
all that
figure
out,
that out.
and then they're going to basically start making some holes for these guys.
Yeah.
And once the
Yeah.
kicker kicks, he's dead, right? He can't
Yeah.
do anything. He just kicks and stops.
Yeah.
I bet there'll be more.
Yeah.
I bet in the next couple weeks there'll be more people getting touchdowns from these kickoffs
Potentially.
that like running the entire way, just because of the way
'Cause-
that they're going to
'cause
develop ways to
Basically,
block.
they're going to figure it's going to be more like basketball plays, right? Like they're going to pick people off and do some like
That's
trickery.
exactly what the
Oh, they'll
lines
definitely do
being.
that,
Yeah.
So I liked it. I liked it somewhat, but the quality of play so far. This is the quote.
It's not there.
This is the quote of the week. Tampa Bay is playing last week. They got slaughtered by whoever it was they played,
Yeah.
right? And the last, I think it was like the second or third last play of the game. This is what happens. Tampa Bay is on. It's like first and 2 yards to get a touchdown, right? And they hike the ball. None of the receivers knew where to go. None of them got open whatsoever. And after the replay was over, this is what the announcer said. He said, "These guys had no idea what the hell they were doing out there."
Yeah.
That's what he said. That's the worst thing you could say about that team. But it just showed that these guys had no idea. They did not study their plays. The coach probably was not on their ass about it, excuse my language. And they had no clue. Like, he calls a specific play, and nobody does their routes at all.
Yeah.
So,
Speaking of calling plays, what do you think about the fact that you can hear the plays?
yeah, that was interesting,
And that
too.
there's transparency in what they're calling, and you can
Yeah.
hear the
Right.
plays
Yeah, 'cause, like,
almost before they're. So you're almost like, if you know what those plays are, you're almost kind of watching a replay, and
Yeah, oh, yeah.
you know.
And then on top...
And the reviews.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can
the
listen, you
reviews
can
again.
watch
hear-
the referee do the whole thing and his conversation.
I love the
Yeah.
transparency
That's
in
pretty,
that.
that's
I
pretty
think
cool.
they were doing
Yeah.
interviews on the sideline as well with some of the players and stuff,
Yeah.
which was interesting too.
Yeah.
The NFL, what do you think they're going to bring into the NFL from this? Because they did it. This is when the XFL was out in like 2002, 2003. You know those overhead cameras? That was an XFL thing first.
Right.
And about a year or two later, the NFL brought those into it. So what is the NFL going to take from the XFL when they go bankrupt?
They're gonna put the. You know, they also have the betting lines.
They do.
They're showing those on the screen
Yeah.
too. So.
Oh, they're okay.
Which I think
Yeah,
a lot of people
yeah.
are hesitant because it's so new and you just
yeah,
don't know.
you're like, whoa.
Would you bet on that? I don't. I mean,
Right now, no. Maybe if I figure it out, it's going to be there, but it's not something I'm going to bet on.
But I, you know,
I don't bet
no,
anyway,
I-
but yeah.
So some of the things that are changed, I think that the NFL might benefit from. They've changed the end of the halves and the end of the game.
yeah,
So it's like basically it's like college where it's running clock. If you go out of bounds during the normal play, the clock keeps running. They set the
Okay.
ball, clock keeps running. But in the last 2 minutes, even if you're down inside, they stop the clock.
Okay.
So they call it like bonus round or like catch-up time or something.
But the thing that I was thinking like this, man, it didn't seem like it was a faster play, like going faster, and that was one of the intentions they had. It didn't seem like it was going faster.
Maybe not yet. Yeah.
But whatever. It's new. It probably won't last till week 8 or whatever, like last year. But it seems like there's more hype around this than there was about.
I think it is going to last. I really do.
How many seasons do you think it's going to last?
I don't know if I can predict that. But I think it gives, those middle ground players that are coming out of college, not quite ready for the NFL, a chance to play. And I think...
So they only have one person that was not eligible for the NFL that's playing on the league. I heard that today. There's one guy that played 2 years at like Purdue or something like that, and now he's playing the XFL. But most of the guys, I'd say like 80% of them are ex-NFL players who played for 5 years and they left.
And does this open up? Does this open up the chance for people to go straight from high school to the XFL without going to college?
I haven't looked at the rules. I don't know if that's something
okay. So they don't have any contract like that.
Yeah.
But
they can't compete with the colleges.
But the perspective of going to the pros for some of these guys might.
If that guy is not being looked at by a college, he can be looked at by the XFL.
Oh yeah, for sure. But but there's 10,000 people that play in Division I football.
Yeah.
So I mean, you got 10,000 kids who are going to play in Division I football. They're probably going to go to Division I football over the XFL. And if not, they might be able to pick off some of the
If you're not ready for college and you want to get out and make whatever they're making in the XFL, it may be a viable option.
This is a business though.
I don't know.
I remember back when there was arena football. I'm sorry. And arena football on the side of the bus in the town I lived in said, "Come play arena football and still work a full-time job."
Hey.
So
that's great.
And then you told me a minute ago they're making $55,000 a year. Well, if that's the case, then it's going to live a little short death like arena football did in some cases.
Probably.
Yeah, that's true. I don't see it. I mean, I don't see it taking away too much from college football. I see because I was listening to the commissioner talk. It was the XFL commissioner talk. I think it was on Dan Patrick's show today.
Yeah.
And what he was saying is that these guys, they prefer someone that's older because they want to keep a good reputation for the XFL.
Sure.
They don't want some 18-year-old kid that's out there raping girls and crap like that.
By the way, in the rules, every player has to stand for the national anthem.
Yeah. Exactly. And
love that rule.
Yeah, so you can't make political statements on the field or nothing like that. And then college, it's designed for the 17, 18-year-old kid that's screwing off still because they figured out ways to discipline them in that way. Where the XFL, they're not going to put up with that crap.
That's right.
So that kid's going to be going to play college football after that anyway.
It's kind of funny that Kaepernick would even consider coming to the XFL then, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, come on, right?
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing I think is going to hurt the XFL, and this is just my opinion, and you guys can weigh in what you think. You're going into this is the first season this past week, right? So going into their 4th week, you're walking right into collegiate basketball conference tournaments and then transitioning into March Madness. And we all know that rules the TV.
Oh, yeah. The end of the XFL season is going to be middle of March Madness
basically
to the end
4.
of the entire the 3 or 4 weeks of March Madness. Was it 3 weeks of March Madness is going to be weeks 5 through 8, I think, for them.
It's going to kill them. It's going to
destroy them. Yeah,
absolutely,
for sure. So let's get off the topic of XFL, and the reason why is because it'll probably be irrelevant next year. But the Duke-North Carolina rivalry will not be irrelevant next year.
And it did not disappoint this weekend.
It did not disappoint. Get this, though.
What a great game.
Get this. North Carolina in the last 4 minutes, right? They were up like by 10 points or something like that.
12.
Was it 12 points? They missed 17 free throws. 17 free throws. Is that insane?
If Rebel was here right now, he would be having
losing it right now.
He'd be having a fit.
Hey, he might be able to call in on the show.
Oh, my goodness.
You know what I mean? But yeah, for sure. That was insane.
It was tough. Duke figured out how to dismantle them. Of course, they missed the free throws, and that's unacceptable, especially with a team that is, in a lack of a better way to say it, not that talented. There's not as talented as a North Carolina team as what they've had been in the past.
They're definitely not that talented this year. They're good, but they're not great. I mean, they're mediocre, actually, compared
Right.
to normal teams, yeah. That North Carolina usually puts out, they're usually in the top 25 every year, no matter what. This year, they've just been getting destroyed.
And Wake worked them the very next game. I saw Wake was up by 20 at the half in that game.
Wow.
So, I mean, and Wake, come on. I think the other thing that was
That's a big rivalry in that area, too, though.
It is, but heartbreaking. Duke made 2 buzzer beaters in that game. Not just one, but 2.
Wow.
One to tie it, and the second one to win it
win it.
with less than a second to go.
That was, yeah, because it went overtime, right?
Yep.
Can you imagine you missed 17 free throws, though? Like, that blew my mind. They shouldn't have lost that game, man.
But normally you're like, that whole foul them like crazy at the end of the game doesn't work.
Yeah.
But in this
They're
case,
missing.
Yeah, unless they're missing. Exactly. It never works unless they're. It never works. I'm always sitting there like, why do they keep fouling? Just let the freaking game end.
I can tell you one thing. I wouldn't want to bet on North Carolina's team after that game because I bet you they all stayed up till 4 or 5 in the morning running laps and shooting free throws.
Yep, for sure.
Suicides.
And that's what they're doing right now. So, the very next game that they played was FSU. Mm-hmm. Dynamite game. I like Duke. I'm going to be open with y'all. My wife's great-grandmother was a Duke fan till the day she died. She died the day before Duke won their last national
That's a
championship.
definite connection
So, like,
there.
I've been a fan of theirs since I met her. And so I root for them, even though I'm a Florida Gators fan, true blue. But, yeah, I always root for Duke whenever they're playing. And I was happy to see them beat FSU because I'm a Gators fan also.
Your Florida
But-
boys are on there.
And Florida just
Florida,
tipped off.
yeah, we don't do play-by-plays on this, though.
We don't.
No, we
but
do
Florida's
not.
up 6-2.
Auburn, LSU. What happened, Auburn, LSU last week, man?
That was a huge
That
game.
was the biggest game of the weekend.
Choppa's
pretty
got to
much.
talk
Boom,
about
boom.
to Choppa.
The battle
Choppa.
for number 1 in the SEC. And we'll talk a little SEC basketball. You know, we always kind of focus on SEC football, but talk about SEC football, basketball.
By the way, guys, 200 days till college football's back. Today is the 200 days until that point.
200.
All right, go on. I'll let you keep on talking.
It just means more in the SEC. We all
does
know
mean
that.
more in the SEC.
We all know that.
Auburn, LSU.
So the battle for first place, right? And this was the
LSU's a
third.
good team, man.
This was the third game out of the last 4 games where we've been down by double digits in the second half and have come back and won.
Yep.
And I don't know. You know, our team's just finding
You're
a
a
way
little
to
bit
win.
biased, man. I'm telling you, but
I am not.
I'm telling you, Auburn
Yeah.
is
We
a
find a way to
dynamite.
win.
Yeah,
We find a way to
Auburn is
win.
Auburn's a dynamite team this year.
That was one exciting game.
They have them ranked like number 11 right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Insane that they have Auburn 19-2. Tonight
20,
they'll be
21-2 already.
Oh, they're 21-2 now. Yeah, at the time they were 19-2.
And we're winning tonight as well too against Alabama.
Yeah, it's insane that they have them ranked number 11.
Hey,
they should
that's
be a
exactly
top
where
5.
we want to be, though. You know, just kind of off the radar.
It really is because you get a chance to slide into a 3 spot. That's a great spot to be in the NCAA tournament.
Yep.
But it's also Auburn, the 2 losses Auburn took. I mean, you think about your top 5 teams. Kansas has taken 3 losses, but all 3 teams were in the top 10.
That's
Still
right.
in the top
That's right.
10.
Yeah.
That's right.
I
We
mean,
lost to Alabama and Florida. You know, so
Those are tough ones. So, you know,
they're tough ones. They're good teams, but they're not. You know,
it's this time of year. It's conference ball. People beat. I mean, Ole Miss came back and beat Mississippi State by 25 last night. I mean, that's stupid.
But-
that stuff shouldn't happen. But it
For
does.
sure.
but you know, if we win tonight, we will be 14-0 at home, and that's huge. I mean, a huge. I mean, I know we've still got a bunch of games left in the SEC. We still
when
have
you
to go
say
to.
we, you mean Auburn?
Yeah, Auburn still has to go to Rupp Arena and play
Auburn's
Kentucky
on
away.
Auburn's on a 6-game winning
right.
streak as well. So that's a good.
That's right.
If you had to call it right now, who's going to win it all in the tournament?
I'll stick to what I stuck to last week, and that's Dayton.
Dayton.
I watched Dayton play again last night. One of their rivals, Rhode Island, who's was basically right there 1-2 with them in the Atlantic 10, and Dayton dismantled Rhode Island. It wasn't even a basketball game. They beat them by 20 points. They were had them down by 20 points the entire game. At one point, it was like 15-0.
They're an all-around good team, so you
They're
think Dayton's
solid.
going to take it,
I
huh?
do. I think Dayton's going to go all the way. If nothing else, they're in the Final Four, but I'm going to call them national champions right now. That's my team.
Dayton.
Final
Dayton.
Four.
But
Dayton.
Baylor.
I think Baylor's a good basketball team. I do.
Yeah.
I think Baylor has a chance to go. The only thing that's going to hurt Baylor, if you look at Lenardi's bracket for Baylor, and the NCAA selection committee is really bad about this, they stack some of these brackets. And right now in Baylor's bracket, they've got I think Kentucky and Duke. I mean, they got a rough road, man.
And on top of that, they say when for the total stats on that, Baylor has a hard time scoring high again. They have a great defense, but offensively, they're not that strong against ranked teams.
Yep.
So that's where they're going to falter as well. If they get a team that can put up threes, just run that ball down and score a lot, they're going to have a hard time keeping up.
Are you saying the Auburn Tigers would beat them?
I'm saying that.
I think Auburn Tigers would beat them.
I think Auburn's going to the Final Four.
Final Four. Hey,
I'm going to say it right now.
You should have been there last year.
I think Auburn's going to win it all, baby.
You think Auburn's going to go?
I think Auburn's going to win it all.
Wow.
I think they're way underrated for the type of games that they play. They lost to Florida, which Florida's not that good this season, right?
Sure.
But that's an SEC game. Anything can happen in an SEC game. Every other game that they played, what was the other loss they had? Alabama.
Alabama and Florida.
Yeah, Alabama and Florida. 2 weeks in a row.
Which we're playing Alabama again right now. And beating them.
Are you calling Alabama to win it or Auburn to win it all?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
I'll give you that. So we're in South Carolina. Oh, you wanted to say something else?
Oh, no. I was just going to simply say that when you get into the NCAA tournament, it's all about who has fast guards and who can play like that. And Auburn's a team.
Yeah.
But one other team you got to talk about from the SEC, and I'm a Tennessee fan, but I hate to say this because I grew up there. Kentucky has, pound for pound, 3 of the best guards in the country.
Yeah.
And when they get hot, just like they did against Vanderbilt last night,
That's right.
They outscored them by, 20 points in the second half?
That's right.
You take a team like that gets hot quick, and they get into some of these teams that aren't used to playing
I agree with
fast.
that.
Kentucky and Auburn could both make deep runs.
We still have to play Kentucky at Rupp Arena. We still have to play Tennessee twice.
And you got the SEC tournament.
Tennessee
And
twice.
Tennessee's going to try to take one of them.
Twice.
Yeah.
You know they're going to be ready for Bruce Pearl.
If you watched them last night, we were
tournaments.
solid. So
Yeah, oh yeah.
SEC
Yeah, you guys
tournament
beat
comes up
Arkansas,
as well,
didn't you?
so
we did by
that'll be-
21.
Absolutely. We had to take them to overtime last week,
It's going to be fun. And
yeah.
Tennessee is at South Carolina this weekend. And guys, I'll be at that game, so hopefully I can do maybe I'll go on our Facebook group and do a live from the game.
Oh, do a Facebook Live.
I'll do a
on the
Facebook Live from the game.
Facebook
Fantastic.
group, guys. You check it out. Facebook group. That's what he's talking about.
Guys
If
at the
you're
bar
listening-
drinking sports.
No, guys at the bar talking sports.
Drinking sports, talking
Yeah.
sports.
Yeah. Oh, second episode. I'm listening to it today also. I was so drunk, I could not get out the name of the show that we already decided. I was like, guys at the bar talking about drinking sports and eating food. I couldn't figure out what the hell the show was called when I was trying to close it up. And finally,
I remember that.
I think I had Pegram actually say, it's guys at the bar talking sports, dude. And that was it. So anyway.
And that's history, baby.
Frank Martin, USC, South Carolina's coach. Is he going to be able to put together a Final Four team again?
Honestly, in my opinion, I think Frank Martin is the answer for South Carolina. He's a great coach.
He is a great coach.
I think he's going to continue to bring talent. Frank Martin is a tough, in-your-face, rip-you-apart coach. And that's what South Carolina needs because you think about, we're a football school, right? I mean, and not necessarily
Not
a
sure.
traditional
Maybe
basketball
like,
school.
A baseball school.
Baseball slash football school.
Equestrian.
Equestrian. Rifle and hunting school.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think you got
Maybe
to
a little
give
fishing school.
you got to give credit to him and his coaching staff. They've done a great job. They've brought in some great recruits, and they've got some more good recruits potentially coming in next year. I mean, you think about Hannibal is a great player who comes off the bench a lot for us. I really think South Carolina is going to get back to greatness. Do I think they're going to make another Final Four run? I hope. I can't guarantee that, but I hope they will.
I mean, that's a tough thing to do. Final Four is a tough thing
It
to
is,
do.
and not
you
this
can
year.
have a good team that doesn't make the Final
No,
Four.
Duke doesn't make the Final Four every year as well. Yeah,
And I think
he
I think he will. I think he will put a quality team together. Final Four, I'm not
They'll
totally
get there
sold on
sometime.
that.
But back in the NCAA tournament, back to the Sweet 16, absolutely. I think so.
Sweet 16. All right, last topic of the night, and then we go on to my trivia.
Lightning
trivia.
All
round.
right. I'm going to get into something very controversial. Very controversial, okay? Top 100 players were announced for the NFL's 100th season or whatever. All that crap, right? They did this big old halftime show with all that hoopla. O.J. Simpson was mentioned as the top 100. He wasn't there. They didn't show him waving and smiling or anything like that, But do you think that it should have been more controversial to have a a guy that murdered his wife on that list of top
Not
100.
convicted. Not convicted.
Not convicted.
Accused.
Accused.
Let me,
And he wrote a book
let me ask you this.
called
Let
If
me,
I Did Do It.
let me
or
flip
whatever.
the question back to you,
Yeah.
Hanger. Do you think that he goes down as one of the best running backs all time in football?
Yeah, for sure.
During his time, before he did all this craziness before the fact.
Yeah, so I think
So
that's
how
what
good
I'm
was
talking
he?
So I
about.
think this is the
Football.
NFL saying we are not going to participate in cancel culture.
Okay,
Sure.
I
What
got
you do off the field
Yep.
and what you do, you might be
Yeah.
a terrible human being, you might become a terrible human
Yeah.
being, but we are recognizing what they do on the field.
Yeah.
Hey, good
Okay.
point. Good point, dude.
That's like Ray Lewis.
Good point, dude.
Same thing with him.
Yeah.
He was
People do bad things.
he was not
Which,
convicted.
which I don't remember how many episodes we talked about the whole Pete Rose and should they allow him into the Hall of Fame or whatever, but it's the same type of thing, right? You know, like
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
you have a great player who does bad stuff.
Throw him on that top 100 list.
Well, except he's baseball.
Pay him, or not him. I'm just saying, throw OJ on that top 100 list. Pay him his $100,000 for using his name.
Ooh.
They probably paid him for that.
Not that he necessarily needs the money, but does he go down as one of the
he
top
definitely needs
100
the money.
players? Absolutely.
I don't. Yeah.
He was a
okay.
great player. He
Okay.
was. I mean, he was a great player.
Yeah, and he was really good in airplanes.
I was going to say, and a mediocre actor.
Yeah.
Great player.
Was
Okay,
it air? No, it was
No, the Naked Gun.
The
The
naked
Naked
gun.
Gun.
It was the freaking naked. This is guys the bar
Leslie
talking
Nielsen.
movies. Yeah, the Naked Gun. He was really good in the Naked Gun.
He was.
Yeah, it's O.J. Simpson. Oh, he did those
Kareem
commercials. too.
Abdul-Jabbar was an airplane.
Yeah,
That's
that
right.
was it. Yeah. All right, so
Surely you're not serious.
All right, what do we get for this trivia?
I believe me.
all right, trivia night. Can I have another beer? Yes, please. Trivia night. Bum, bum, bum. All right.
Whoa. Drum
This
roll.
is called quick turn trivia. If you don't get the answer in 5 seconds, I actually say the answer, and the reason why is because we ain't got much time for this show left. All right. She's
Woo.
called last call. She's like, get out of here, crazy people that do podcasts every night. Which college football player was arrested and convicted of felony trespassing and burglary?
Johnny Football.
Colt Brennan,
Oh.
whoever the hell he is.
Minnie.
University of Colorado. All right. Next one. When is the Rose Bowl played?
New Year's Day.
Who's that?
All right, good one.
Good job.
Where is the Military Bowl played? Come on!
Minneapolis. I don't know.
The dude is in the military.
Philadelphia.
Washington. All right, next.
I tell you where Army Navy's playing.
Which NCAA football stadium boasts the largest capacity?
Michigan.
Michigan Stadium. Oh man, Rookie DC.
Know that one.
All right, you're in the
Institute of
lead, man. You're in the
Columbia.
lead. Oh, Beaver Stadium is the home to which football team?
Oregon
Oregon
State.
State.
Hold on. I'm sorry, I totally got it wrong. 6. It's going to be Texas Longhorns.
Oh.
Yeah, who knew that?
Didn't.
Oh, get this one. Beavers and the Golden Gophers, right? Minnesota's the Golden Gophers.
Oregon State.
The Beavers are the
Oregon State.
Is Wisconsin Beavers, right?
Oregon State.
Badgers.
Badgers, that's
Wisconsin
it. Yeah,
Badgers.
Wisconsin Badgers. Target made a shirt, the Minnesota Badgers, and sold it for like a week, not realizing that they made that huge mistake. And Target is a Minnesota company.
Well,
Sounds like when the president congratulated
Fun fact.
the Chiefs and the state of Kansas.
In the state of Kansas, yeah. Let's make that mistake. You can look online and find that. But hey, guys, this is Guys the Bar Talking Sports. Check out our Facebook page, Guys the Bar Talking Sports. That's what it's called, right?
And give us a 5-star review.
5-star
give us a
ratings
great
and
rating. Check
reviews.
us out
Only.
Saturday for the South Carolina-Tennessee review.
That's right.
And
That's what you
cheers,
can do.
guys. Cheers.
We
Hey,
love our fans.
This is Guys the Bar Talking.
Sports. See ya.
I know what you're thinking. Man, that was an amazing show. You know what you do then? You subscribe to the show. By subscribing, you'll be able to hear the show next week and every show that we come out with from here on out. And then if you really like the show, the thing that you can do is you give it a 5-star rating and review. Whatever podcast you listen to, see if you can give it a 5-star rating and review. I know you can do it on Apple iTunes. And then you know what you do? You come on back next week to hear Guys at the Bar Talking Sports.